Okay. So in this session, we'll start about the order by and the limit clause, and then we'll slowly move forward to how to do some kind of aggregations and all. But before that, we start with something which is very basic, and I think I missed that. So let's start with that first. So suppose I want to pull out name column only, but instead of the name column, I want to rename it to, let's suppose, employee name. Okay. So what I'll do, I pull in name. Okay. But I want the column name to be employee name and not this name. So what I'll do is employee name. Okay. So this is the column name I want. So the column name has got changed. So if you write something as and then something, that column name would change. Which is actually very beneficial because most of the time you will see professionally like the column names are very weirdly written. It's difficult to make some sense of the data from the column name. So in that case, for your better understanding, you can rename the column as it. So it's not like it will go and change the backend table. It won't change. It's just for your purpose, for the whole analysis purpose, you would be, instead of using the word name, you would be using the word employee name. Okay, so it's not changing the word anything in the table structure. That will continue to remain as it is. So that is not going to change. Okay, fine. Now,
And why we are using the alias for the same purpose, we are using alias also?
yeah, this is the alias only, right? This is alias. We're talking about the table alias or the column.
Yeah, column, because as we are renaming the column
Hmm.
name just for our reference, the same thing we are doing with the alias, right?
With alias, I am not getting. So this is the aliasing that you're doing. I'm not getting what you're saying.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me, I will put my question in the chat
Okay.
then at last,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay. Fine. Let's move ahead. So suppose I want everything to be sorted on the basis of the salary column. Okay. Let's suppose I want this in a descending order. So I want the whole table to be sorted on the basis of salary in the descending order. That means the highest salary on the top, and then as we proceed, the salary will keep on reducing. So do that. What I'll do, so let's start from employees. Order by is a clause that you need to use. Order by salary descending. So what that means is you are order by is a word. Okay, is a keyword. You are trying to sort the whole table on the basis of salary in the descending format. So when I run this, the highest salary will be the top and the lowest salary will be at the bottom. Okay. Okay. So you will get the whole table will get sorted on the basis of the column that you specify. So if you are suppose uh, uh, trying to sort this on the basis of salary ascending, so what you will do is select star from employees order by salary ASC. ASC is the short form for ascending. Okay. So you have from lowest salary at the top and the highest salary at the bottom. Okay. Now, one question for you guys. If suppose by any chance I forgot to mention the order, ascending or descending, what do you think should happen? Will this work? Huh?
Ascending by default.
Sorry, I messed up. Ascending or descending?
Ascending. Yeah.
Okay, good. So if you do not mention any order, by default it will be ascending. So even if you do not write any order, it is still fine. It will still run with an ascending order. But if you want in descending order, you have to specify descending. Okay. Now, this is a simple sorting because you are using only one column to sort. Okay. Now, if suppose now I see these two examples, both are having the same salary, 18,000. Okay. Now, what I do is, if there is a clash in the order, what you need to do is you need to sort this on the basis of name. So in this case, this one name is Johnson, another one is Washington. So what I want is the name should be in descending order if there is a clash in salary or if the salaries are same. So what I'll do, I'll use two columns for sorting them. Select star from employees, order by salary in the ascending, comma, name in, let's suppose name, let me change it to descending. Okay. So order by salary, there's nothing, but name, there's a descending order. Now see this, both the salaries are same, but now it is sorted in the descending order. So W will come first and then Johnson. Okay. So this is the way you will involve multiple columns for different sorting. Okay. So order by clause is one thing that you need to remember. Order by is used for sorting, and then you have to mention the descending or ascending. If you do not mention any descending or ascending, it will by default take ascending order. Then there is an option to use multiple columns for sorting.
So if I want the salary in a different sorting pattern, that is right now it is default ascending, and if I want it to be descending, so I can append it here. Okay.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other question here?
No, thank you.
Fine. Now this is fine. The major usage of, I mean, I won't say this is the right usage, man, because in I think fourth session you will realize that this is not correct. The thing that I'm going to teach now. Okay. Let me do this thing. Set start employees order by. I need the top 5 people with the highest salary. Order by salary descending. What I do? Top 5 people I need. First of all, I do a order by salary designer. Now, this is 75, 56, 54, 52, all the things sorted. Now, to get the top 5 rows, I have to just use a simple thing, which is called as limit 5, because I need the top 5 only. What limit does is, it picks out the top 5 rows. So I needed the top 5 people with the highest salary. So you just sort it by salary in descending order and use a limit function. If I do a limit 10, it will give me 10 rows. Okay. Now my question to you, and that's the way you will realize that why this process of finding out the top 5 is incorrect is, suppose this is the last one, right? 25,000 is salary. Now there is one more person with 25,000. Should I be in showing that if the question is suppose the top 10 people with the highest salary, and there are 2 people with the same salary, the last one. Okay. Should I be showing that? Because the salary is the same. Why to ignore that person? Anyone, the question is, should I be showing that duplicate person, the other person with the same salary? If the question is, I need to showcase top 10 people. Thing is, I should be showing that because the salary is same, right? 25,000, 10th highest should be part of my output, but that limit is not allowing that. Now, this is where limit fails. And that's one of the questions which we generally ask, and people generally tend to follow the limit approach. The question sometimes is that there are you have a record of 5 people, you have a record of 100 people in your company, and you know their salary. Okay. So I need the top 5 people in terms of salary. If you use limit, your whole approach will go wrong. And that's where the window functions will come into the picture, and you will need to use window and you will need to use rank and dense rank. That's the thing that we will study in the later stages of the program. But this is for now, you can understand that this is how the limit works. It will give you the top 5 groups. Okay. Any doubt here? Limit. Okay. Now,
We can use top also, right?
top 5 is also work, but top 5 is not present in everywhere. Are you using this thing? Microsoft SQL Server?
Yeah, we are using
Yeah,
that.
yeah. There it is. You won't find it in any other place.
So where we are
But
using limit 5, where we are using top means what is the difference in between these?
that is totally same. Limit you use or you use top, it works the same way. It's just that you won't find this top thing in your this Google BigQuery. I don't think you will find this in Postgres also. But Microsoft SQL Server allows. That's why I said 95% things are same, but there's few small things here and there which are different in these SQL applications. So none of the interviewer will, I mean, worry if you are using top or not using top or you're using limit or not using limit. The thing is, we do not actually care about these things. The thing is like what we care about, like if your approach is correct and your answer is straight. So we don't care about these things whether you are using top or not. We know there are few changes here and there in all the SQL applications. Okay. Any other question?
No, as if so is fine. Thank you for the answer.
Okay. See something else. So select. Okay. What I want is I want to know the different designations that I have. Okay. I want to know different designations where we have. So admin is there, manager is there, sales one, tech engineer, and CEO. So notice sales one is getting repeated twice because there are 2 employees who are in sales one. Manager is also getting reported twice because there are 2 managers. But I don't want to like see managers getting repeated, sales one getting repeated. I just want to know the different designations that I have. I don't want to know how many times they're getting repeated. To do this, what I'll do, select distinct designation from employees. So distinct is keyword to find out the unique values. Designation is a distinct is a keyword to find out the unique values. So unique values are admin, manager, sales one, tech engineer, CEO, and CPO. Okay, so this is actually gives you some idea about how the data is. So if your data to find out the unique values is something to find out unique values, you will need to find out the you will need to use distinct keyword. Okay. Just give you the it doesn't if there are duplicate values, like in our case, manager was having duplicate value, sales one is having unique value, it will just ignore it. Just give you the distinct values. Yeah. And I'll tell you why this is important in next example. Now coming to the aggregations. I want to find out the total sum of salary in this table. Ideally, it should be 18,000 plus 52 plus 25 plus 27 and so on. So I want to find out the total sum of salary. So what I do, I put sum of salary from employees. So I'll give you the total sum. Now notice the column name, sum of salary, which is not good looking. I mean, it will be difficult for people to make some sense, and every time you will need to write this much long. So I'll give you some logical name. Let's suppose I name this column as sum of salary, like this. Okay. So this is the way you will find out the sum of the salary. The sum function and the column name. If I want to find out the maximum salary, so it will be max of salary. Okay. As max salary. Okay. If you want to find out the minimum salary, min of salary as min of salary. You can choose any column name. I mean, I'm just making this column name as you can are free to choose from your own column name. Average average of salary as AVG salary. Okay. So this is the average 35964.2. Okay. Now, one thing to note here is this thing doesn't look good, right? I mean, there are too many decimal which nobody will care about. To overcome this thing, there's a simple function called as round. Round and till how many decimal points you want. After decimal, how many points you want. Suppose I need only two, so it will just round it off. You do not want anything after decimal, remove this. Okay, so round is a function which will help you do a rounding. Okay, so round of ABG salary will just round off the average salary. Okay, now my question to you. Okay. No, just hold on. Okay, till here it's fine, right? In doubt, till finding out the sum, max, min, rounding, average. Anyone? Any doubt?
No, no doubts.
So now, one thing to notice here is this commission column. In this commission column, couple of records are null. See, so many nulls actually. There are only three places wherein the values are not null. Everything else is null. Now, what if I do write this? I want to count the number of records in the column commission, and I do count of commission. Now there are how many records? There are 14 records. Okay. So what do you think should be the output of this? I'm doing a count of commission from employee. what do you think should be the output? Will this run? It won't run. If it runs, what would
2200.
be the output? Sorry?
2200.
Okay. Sum and count are two different things. Sum means summing up. Counting is counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that.
I think it will show
Okay.
the
You're trying to
values
sum
that are not blank.
that are not blank. So you mean the output should be 3, right? Okay.
Yes.
So whoever said 2200, that is not correct because you are trying to sum. To do a sum, you need to use sum function. But you are using a count, it will just count 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. But it will count only the non-null values. In our case, there are only 3 non-null values in the commission column. You see commission column clearly. See, there are this non-null value, second non-null value, third non-null value. So there are 3 non-null values. Everything else is null. So this select count will give you only 3. Okay. Let's suppose I now name this count of commission. Okay. Now what I want is, I actually don't want this. I want everything to be counted. I do not care whether this is null or not null. I just want to know the number of rows in the table employee. The number of rows in the table employee. So what I'll do, select count star from employee. Select count star from employee. So count star, if you remember, select star was giving me it was selecting whole data, all the rows and all the columns. Count star will count the number of rows, irrespective of whether they are null or not null. Okay. Select star will pull in all the rows and all the columns. Count star will give you the number of rows in the table without worrying about whether the row is null or not. Okay. Okay. So I'm pausing over here a bit now. Let me know if there's any doubt. The next topic would be around your nulls checking and all. So I'm just
Could you
pausing over a bit.
explain this
Yeah.
limit part again, please?
Limit. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So limit will actually give you the top 5 values. Okay. Now, suppose this is select star from employees. I just use limit 5 here. Let's suppose I just want to use limit 5. Select star from employees limit 5. So now see the name Johnson, Harding, Taft, and Hoover and Lincoln. Only these 5 should show up. Okay. Because they're the top 5 records. So row number 1, row number 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 rows which will show up as output. The major purpose of this limit is, first of all, this one. Definitely to have some sense about how the data is looking. And there are millions of record. I don't want to SQL to go through the millions of record. I just wanted to pick out the top 5 rows. Okay. Another usage of this is, if suppose I want the top 5 people with the highest salary. As of now, this is not sorted. So what I'll do, I'll first of all sort this by salary in the descending order and then put a limit 5. So limit function is to find out the row number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So before I even do this, I sorted the salary in the descending order. Once I'm sorted, I put a limit 5. Okay. So it will be limit. So it will give you the top 5 people with the highest salary. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Can you explain this select count star once again?
Yeah. So count star is to count the number of rows. Select star is to showcase all the rows and all the columns. Count star is to find out the number of rows. It is counting. So it will count row 1, row 2, then 3, then 4, and so on. So count star is to count the number of rows. So even if there are null values, it will still count it. So if I run this, there were 14 rows, and the number of rows that shows up is 14 here.
Okay, got it.
The number of columns, good one. One approach is I go through the schema and see what columns are there. But I need to check this. One approach is to go through the schema and see uh, what all columns are there. But to count, I really can count the number of rows. Can there be a logic around it? Okay, so if I okay, one thing that I could do here is mhm, I think I have to check this because as far as I know, that there is no direct way to do this. One thing is definitely go through the schema and check, but I need to check if there is another approach. I'll check this. I am not sure about this one. I'll check this. Okay. Okay. Let's move to something else. Where is that thing? Mhm. Okay, so what I do now is I start from employees where is null. This is your commission rate. See what to do. Um, okay. Sorry. It's staying here. Okay, so if suppose I want to check whether the column has null values or not. So what I do is where it is picking out only those records where the commission column is null. Okay. So whatever the output that you're seeing now is, it has only those records where the commission column is null. So is null is the function that you will use. And opposite to that is like if suppose you are interested in those records where the commission is not null. Okay. The first one was where commission is null. Now commission column is not null, so we will use commission not is null. Oh. One. Commission.
I think it should be is not null.
is not null.
It should be only not null. It not be is added.
Right? So it should be commission is not null.
No, no. You don't use is. Just use not null.
Sorry, it's saying not. You're saying this one.
Yeah, and I guess
Also
there's
fine.
no space between not and null.
No. So okay, everything is working. So whatever you have, but generally it doesn't work like that. So you have to give a space actually. In general, I mean here it is still fine, but in general, if you're writing, it should be not is null. It should be like this. But it's not working. But that's so use not null, commission not null. So it will give you only those records where the commission does not have null values. Okay. So is null is for checking if the column is having null values, and not null is for checking if the column does not have the null values. Yeah. Any doubt here? Okay. Now coming to a very important topic, that is your group by grouping. So suppose what I want is I want the average salary for every designation. So we have different designations such as admin, manager, sales one, tech, and all. So what I want is I want the average salary for each designation. So you can think that there are multiple people in different designations, right? For example, sales one. Sales one has two people, Taft and Hoover. So what I need is average salary. So it will be 25,000 plus 27,000 divided by that's the average salary. So how to do this? So this can be easily done using the group by function. So what group by function does it? So select what I need is the for every designation I need. So designation, comma, average of salary as AVG. So for every designation, I need the average salary. So this is kind of a grouping yet you are doing. Okay, so you're trying to build different buckets based on the designation column. So till here it is fine because for every designation you're doing the average salary, but this is a kind of aggregation you're doing. So whenever you're doing an aggregation, you need to keep one thing in mind. You need to use group by function. So what will group by hold? Group by will hold all the columns which are not aggregated in the select statement. Group by will hold all the columns which are not aggregated. So this is an aggregation. You are doing an aggregation here. Not aggregated means this column. So group by designation. You do this, you will get the average salary for every designation. Okay. So the concept of group by is if you are trying to create different buckets in your select query. So a bucket mean different values which are there in the designation column. So you will use the designation, comma, the aggregation that you're doing. I'm finding out the average. So average of salary from employees. A group by will hold only those columns which are not aggregated in the select statement. So only the designation column is something which is not aggregated in the select statement. So I'll write that. Now this is a simple one. So you can even write it like this. I could even remove designation from here. Okay, it's not taking that. Fine. Forget it. Leave it. So the concept get realized, like whatever columns is not aggregated in the select statement, we will write it in group by. Okay. Now, if you're fine with this, try doing one more. So try finding out the average, the maximum salary for every designation, the maximum salary for every designation. Try finding out that. What is a query that you will write? You need to write a query to find out the maximum salary for every designation. It will work on the same way as this. Good. So I think right. I think everyone is on the right. So this is one such response that I get. So so you can do any kind of aggregations here. Okay. So suppose I want the count of every. So what I want is at every salary, how many people are there? So for example, if you see this, some topic is here. So see, there is 18,000. There's first person, and here 18,000. There is second person. So what I want is for every salary, what are the total number of people? Okay. This is one such response that I got. So for every salary, I'm getting the count. Okay. I could even do check this one. It will still give me the same answer. Okay. Because you're just counting, not doing anything else. Okay. Any doubt till here? Anyone? Any doubt? Okay. Now you have done this, that you're finding out for every designation what is the average salary. Now suppose I want to know only those designations whose average salary is, let's suppose, more than 30,000. Whose average salary is more than 30,000. So this is also kind of filtering that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find out only those designations where salary is more than 30,000. Now, but this is different from your where clause. So where is also kind of filtering, but that would be different from this. Why? Because here I'm saying average salary is more than 30,000. So I'm trying to put a filter on the aggregated value. Average salary is your aggregated value. So I'm trying to put a filter on the aggregated value. If you're trying to put a filter on an aggregated value, the only filter that is available to you is having. Now do this. What I'll do is having AVG salary is greater than 30,000. Okay. Now I put a filter on the aggregated value. So if you're trying to put a filter on, suppose, average, max, min, count, sum, these are aggregated values, then you have to use having. If you try doing where employee, let me show you what will happen if you do. Change this to where to where. You see the difference? Okay. Let me show you like this. First of all, it will select only those people whose salary is more than 30,000. Now it will try to find out the average salary. So first of all, you're removing people from your sample. You're taking only those people whose salary is more than 30,000, and then you try to find out the average salary. So you are trying to remove the people and then you're trying to aggregate it, which is wrong. Because the question is, you need to find out only those people, only those departments whose salary is more than 30,000. Okay. So where clause is for filtering out row by row. So it will check every row and it will check if the filter is specified, is clear, filter condition is true or not. Okay. So where clause will check for the values row by row. Whereas having will first of all aggregate the values and then it will filter out. Okay, so this just becomes one of the important interview questions. What is the difference between where and having? Where works or filters value row by row, whereas having first of all aggregates
aggregates a value and then filters it. When I'm saying it aggregates a value, that means you have to use group by. Okay, that's why you will always see if a having is used, then before that group by has to be used. Having will always come after group by. Okay, so where clause will filter out the values row by row, whereas having will filter out the values only after aggregation. Clear? If this is clear, try out one question. I want to find out only those customers whose total purchase is more than 300. I want to find out only those customers whose purchase is more than 300. Try doing this one. So it's from employee. Oh no. So Archana, you are trying to select only those employees. This amount is greater than 300. No, I think you're not getting. So see. What you're doing is, the question is, you need to find out only those customers whose total purchase is more than 300. Now you see there are people who have made more than one purchase. For example, 3002. This person has made two purchases. So you need to find out those people whose total purchase is more than 300. So you need to first of all aggregate and then use a having condition. You need to first of all aggregate and then find out those people whose total purchase amount is more than 300. No, that's fine. Others? Okay. So this is one such thing. So you're
Screen
doing
is
a
not visible.
sorry,
Screen is not visible.
it is not visible. Fine. Okay. So select customer ID and then you are summing the purchase amount from orders. Okay. Group by customer ID because there's only one column which is not aggregated in the select statement, and you're doing a having of total purchases greater than 300. Okay. So you cannot write purchases more than 300 using the where clause because that will lead us to row by row filtering. But the whole thing is that the aggregated purchase amount should be more than 300. Yeah.
Sir, once again, sir, what you have said.
So what I'm saying is you cannot write where of purchase amount is more than 300. That because it will filter out those orders which are worth less than 300, and then your whole aggregation will go wrong. The question is you need to find out those customers whose total purchase amount is more than 300. There are customers who have made more than one purchases, so we need to first of all aggregate the purchase amount and then do a filtering.
So is this right? Whatever you have put on the SQL.
That's totally right. Totally
Okay.
right.
Thanks.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
In order of execution, having is before select, right? So,
Uh, in general, the order that is followed is the way. Okay, I should not say order. The way everything is written is in this form: select from where group by and having, and then order by.
no, I meant where SQL does all the process in backend. Having is executed before the select statement, right?
Having is executed. So no, the thing is this will be first of all executed select statement. Okay.
Okay.
So it will do a customer ID and sum of purchase amount. Okay. And then it is saying that it has to be grouped by customer ID. When the whole aggregation has happened, it will lastly put this condition having total purchases greater than 300.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So it first of all it will do the whole aggregation and then put the filter. Because
Okay.
as I said here, having is a what do you call is a filter for the aggregated columns.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Any other question?
So just a question like when customer ID and sum of things get executed, the sum gives the total of all the columns, whatever is there. I mean, the row itself, right? So then when you do group by, so how the actual execution is going through?
Okay. So you're talking about this example only, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So when you're doing so when you write this, the actual execution happens the way that it sees select customer ID from orders and group by customer ID. So what you're telling the compiler is take all the customer IDs which are there in the table and find out the sum of each customer ID. Okay. So you are trying to create different buckets. So suppose there are 5 different customers. So it will create 5 different customers, 5 different buckets, and in every bucket it will put the purchase amount of each customer. So for example, a customer has 2 purchases, so it will put those 2 purchases in that particular bucket. Okay. And it will sum it. Once the summing is done, it will pull out only that bucket where the total purchase is more than 300.
Yeah, that
And
is for
what
the
are
last line.
sorry to interrupt. And what are the function where we can put the group by? We cannot put group by on every function, right?
Group by is for aggregation, so it is used for in general sum, max, min, counting, averages, standard deviations. I mean, these are the
That's it.
Yeah.
We cannot use more than that. Only the aggregation function which we are using, only for those we can use the group by function.
Correct.
Okay. Or for distinct and all, we cannot use it because distinct is also a distinct value. How can we group by, right?
So count distinct you can do. Let me give an example. So 300. Okay. Let's suppose I want to find out those customers which are I want to find out the distinct count of salesman ID for every customer. Distinct count of salesman ID for every customer. So what I'll do is select customer ID, comma, distinct count means you will do a distinct of what? Of salesman ID. But you need a count of this, as the question says. You need the distinct count of every customer ID. Distinct count of salesman ID for every customer ID. So what I'll do? Count of this from what? Where am I putting the filter? Where it should be this? This is something that I should have removed. Okay. Okay. So what it has done is it is showing for every customer what is the distinct count of every salesman ID. So you can even do a distinct, but then distinct is not an aggregation. It will always be in the with combination with an aggregation function only. So a count distinct forms a kind of an aggregation. So distinct as such, only distinct is not an aggregation. Yeah.
Yeah, clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any other question? Okay. Let's move to some SQL questions now. And I'm posting this on the chat. Like, the question here is, you need to find out, generate a report of duplicate emails. So what are the duplicate emails? So I think here @a@b.com is something which is duplicate. You need to write a SQL query to find out the duplicate values.
Try doing this one. Okay, so Anyone? Okay, so good. Good. So I think Apurva, Lakshmi, Akshti. I think everyone is almost there on the same track. Yeah, good. Yeah, the Cortios also. I think this is also fine. What you're doing is select email from person, group by email, having count of email greater than one. So when I run this, ideally I'll get only those people, those emails which are present more than once. But where is it? Okay. Now to see how it all works, you are doing a select email from person, group by email. And if I do this, then you will have only two. So what you're doing is you're doing putting this filter where the count of email is more than one. So you'll get only those people, those emails which are duplicate. Okay. Good.
Mine is throwing error. I don't know why.
Can you put that on the chat?
Yeah, I have put.
Please put it on the chat. I'll see.
Yeah, this one. Nishant.
Nishant. Okay. Count as number of count group by email having number of count. What is the error?
It's basically you have
Okay, you have
displaying.
you are displaying more than the required thing. So actually the output should match. So email is something that is needed. So you do
Okay,
not
okay.
need this part actually. So if you are doing this, then there is one more way. I haven't taught that, but let's make it simpler only. Having you're doing a select email from person group by email. Okay. Okay. Fine. So this is your count of email. Sorry. Okay. So the only thing was the output expect only one. So you need to match the output exactly.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Yeah, I
otherwise what
missed
you were
that
doing is
information. That's why.
otherwise whatever you were doing was correct. There's no issues in that.
Okay.
Okay. You need to find the report all the classes that have at least 5 students. I'll put this on chat. So you need to find out those classes which have at least 5 students. So maths has how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, good. So so these are the classes and these are the students. So you need to find out those classes which have at least 5 students. Mhm. Good. So, Archana, select class from students limit 5 is not correct. Okay, so you need to aggregate first of all. So if you do this class from students, so it will just randomly select the classes, the 5 classes from the class column. The question is you need to report all the classes that have at least 5 students. So if you see there are classes wherein there is more than one student. So if we see maths, in maths there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 students. So you need to first of all find out the you need to find out the number of people, number of students in every class, and then using the having clause, you need to filter out. For example, it should be done something like this. Select class from students, group by class. So if you run this one, these two line, it will give you just the classes. Okay, it won't give you any other information. This one, along like I mean the whole thing, it will give you those classes wherein the count of student is more than 5. So you need to first of all aggregate and find out the total students in a class, and then run and then find out the and then find out the number of and then find out only those classes wherein the number of students is more than 5. Uh, class of star, count star you're saying. So even if you do this one, so count of stars, as I said earlier, like it just count the number of rows. Okay, so it is the same thing as counting the students. Okay, so it's just counting the rows, which is same as the counting of students. So you can even do count of star. So it works exactly the same way. Okay, so count of star is actually for counting the rows. Count of student is counting for the number of counting the number of students. So both are same here. Okay, so both are exactly the same. There's no difference. Okay, good. Okay, let's move to the next one. To find candidates who are proficient in Python, Tableau, and Postgres. Yeah, the number of okay, try doing this one. So I'm putting this on chat. So you have user ID and follower ID. For each user, you need to find out the number of followers. So user ID 0 has follower ID 1. 1 has follower ID 0. 2 has follower ID 0, and 2 has follower ID 1 also. So it's kind of assume it to be Instagram database. Whereas for every user, you have the follower ID. You need to find out for every user ID, what is the total followers. Okay, so it will be in the form of this. So for every user, you need to find out the count of followers. Okay, so Apurva, think it's correct. Anyone else? Right. Okay. So from class link, this should give you the count. So what you're doing is for every user ID, you're just counting the number of rows. For these are the user ID. You're counting the number of rows for it. For user ID 2, there would be 2 followers. And that is what it's showing up over here.
What I have done wrong, like
It post a query, the chat, whatever writing.
the last one.
Last one. Doing a count of
Hashtag.
this naming is incorrect as per the output they're expecting. That's the only thing that was good. I mean, otherwise, there's nothing wrong in whatever you're Totally correct. Okay. So let me post this. So you need to write a query to report the name of the customer that are not referred by the customer with ID is equal to 2. So you need to find out those customers that are not referred by the customer with ID is equal to 2. Okay, this. Okay. Okay, so the right solution to this would be something like this, where ID is not equal to 2. So this is a not equal to sign. Okay, where ID not equal to 2 or ID is null. So null is nothing. Okay, so please do not confuse null with 0. 0 is a value, null does not mean anything, it's a blank. Okay, so the referee ID not equal to 2 or referee ID is null. You can even write not equal to some in this form. Okay, equal to with a exclamatory mark. This is also fine. Okay, so referee ID not equal to 2 or referee ID is null. Now, this one thing, Archana, I think referee ID is okay. I am not getting what you have written actually. So I think I'm not getting your response. I think, what is this? Not equal to 2. So not equal to 2 is something like this. Okay. Not equal to 2 or as null. No. So do not write like this. So, okay. Referee ID. Referee ID not equal to 2 or referee ID is null. Okay. So this is the way you write.
As we are putting both the condition on the same column, can we use in here?
Okay. Then in this referee ID. Okay, so not n, right? So you will say not n 2. Okay, let's first of all check this one. Referee ID not n 2. So this will work. Spelling of referee.
After ID, have you put a space?
Okay,
referee
sorry.
ID.
So what's the table name? Customer.
System. There is
From
an extra
customer.
space between like referee and ID.
Okay. ID not n. Okay. So your answer is not correct because I've not put the null condition. Oh, okay. Sorry. It won't work because your condition is referee ID should not be equal to 2 or referee ID is null. So your null, that thing won't work because here I'm saying not in null. It will take not in null also. It will take not in 2 and not in null.
Both the condition it will satisfy and then we'll
Yes,
give the
so
answer.
that would be the incorrect thing to do because your condition should be referee ID not equal to null or referee ID is null. So you're checking referee IDs should not be null. Hold on. Okay. See, your condition is referee ID not equal to 2. Okay, that is one thing. Your second condition is referee ID is null. So one is not in and another one is in. So both cannot use both. You're getting my point. See, one thing is read the question once that are not referred by the customer with ID is equal to 2. So referee ID is not equal to 2. And referee ID should be null. So
Or
one is
condition we
not
can use here.
referee ID. You're saying, but then you cannot use in and not in, right? You cannot
Okay,
use.
we cannot use in here as we are putting two different condition, but we are using either this or that. So we can use or here.
That you can use. That you can use.
Okay, I have one more question here. When we are referring here null, so which value here we are considering as null? Because the null means that I think not matching value or something, but it can take 0 or anything as a value. So which value here we are considering as null?
So none is the one which is null. Just these value.
Okay, if it is empty, okay, if it is empty, then can we consider is null or not?
Then you can consider as null. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's try one more question. Try this one. So in this question, you have to identify the top 5 products that generated the highest revenue in the first half of In the first half of 2022. Wait, I hope they're not showing. Good. Okay. You need to find out the top five products. So product ID is here. Okay. The output is in the form of product ID and the revenue. You need to top five product that has generated the highest revenue in the first half of 2022. That is from January to June.
Can we use here between range January to June?
Yes, you can. Others? Okay. See. So first in dollars. Approval, you ignored the date filter. Okay. I think everyone has ignored the date filter. I think yours is correct. So everyone is ignoring the date filter. It's not correct. I'll tell you how to use the dates. So you're doing for every product ID, you're trying to find out the sum of revenue. So revenue is nothing but your unit sold into your cost in dollars. Okay. The dates, as is mentioned in the code, is from January to June. So January to June is this date. We date between 2022 and between this. Okay. As you're doing an aggregation, whatever is left after the aggregation column is something that you need to write in group by. So you wrote product ID over here, and I think that's it. And you'd find out the top 5. So you use the limit 5 over here. Okay.
If we ignoring date, okay, then also same answer.
Yeah, that is because you are getting the dates is only for the first half. But as soon as you ignore it, the interval will suddenly come in and they will introduce other dates also. Although your output is matching, but it is not the correct query because you are ignoring the dates. Okay. So you have to make use of the date filter that is mentioned over here.
But here they have asked for the total earning. What if they are not asking the total earning? They just wanted to list it out the total 5. Then how can we do that? Because we are
total.
See, here we are grouping it by the product ID and the total revenue we are putting it as 160. So if it is not the case of the revenue, it is a journal thing if they are asking the product cost, which has the highest cost. So it will be the normal how we are using the top or the limit.
So you actually need the top 5 product cost, right? Is that you're looking for? Okay, then in that case, so product ID, comma, max of product cost, and you will order by product cost and do a limit 5. So as of now, we were looking for the total revenue, so we did all this thing. But if you're not looking for that, I'll change this to, let's suppose.
No, I actually need an explanation for the line number 7 for the group by product ID.
Okay. So the question is top 5 products you want. Okay, look at this part, top 5 products. So what you did, you for every product ID, you find out the total revenue. Now, when you have figured out the total revenue for every product, you have to do a group by product ID because you're doing an aggregation in select statement. So once you're doing an aggregation in select statement, whatever columns are left outside the aggregation, that should be part of your group by clause. So aggregation is this one. The left out part after aggregation is this product ID that you took and put it in group by. Okay. Any doubt in this one? Any doubt?
Here we are mentioning date in this format. So would this be treated as date string or?
This is treated as date.
Date.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although there are, tell me.
Yeah. So there is a date like wrapper also that we can use to form this and place the condition like date is greater than I'm just posting the query.
So you
that
can do it
but-
like this. There are multiple ways you can do this. I am getting what you're saying. Date is greater than this, and date is lesser than equal to this. I mean, let me make it as okay.
yeah,
This also you can do.
I have posted one query in chat.
This thing also you. No, this thing is not.
It's not working right now.
It won't work. It won't work. So that is incorrect. So first of all, this thing is fine, right? Date is greater than equal to, and this thing you can do. What you have done is.
So I'm trying to find the.
What is this man month 01?
So I've like there is a like method inside date only provided where you can mention month, but I'm not sure like how does this work?
So it won't work like this. So I'll tell you how it works actually. I know what I'm trying to do. So it will be extract, and I'm not going into the detail because this is something not I've not taught. Okay.
Right.
So I want to teach this, but I haven't covered this, so I'm not going into the details.
Right. Okay. Okay. Extract month.
Forget about any this easier way. Okay. From online orders, the already some of okay, you're doing grouping, right? Group by product ID.
Product.
From
From
as revenue, product ID sum of this as revenue from online orders. Orders where okay. Okay, sorry. What is the date column? Month from date is less than equal to 6. Okay, remove this. Month of date. This should be fine. Okay, so month of date is less than by product ID. Okay, so it's not okay, fine.
But I got your like point. Like there would be somewhere to extract out.
So there are a couple of functions which will help you pull the month, year, date, weekday, week number, quarter, everything. Okay. So this is something that you could always use. If not, you can make use of between and all. Okay.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I think I'll stop the session for today. But my suggestion to you guys, if you want to really want to like develop this as one of the strong skills for yourself, practice as many questions as you can. There is, I mean, you cannot run away from practicing SQL questions. You have to practice as many questions as you can, and these are the questions that you should give like try out not just once, at least 2-3 times before you attend any interview. Mhm. So practice as many questions as you can. That's the only way to learn SQL. SQL is not it's not a theoretical thing that you will see the data and you will feel that it is easy and you'll solve it. It is not going to work that way. You will need to solve it, run the queries, see why it is running and why it is not running, and then learn. Okay. With that, what I'll do, I'll start the polls.
One function I will ask you, sorry to interrupt, coalesce.
Oh, sorry. I am sharing my screen again. Sorry. I forgot what just issues. Stop. This thing name is your name orders, I think. Yeah. So this thing is commission. Okay, what was it? Commission. Which table had this commission employees? Okay.
Employees.
Okay. What I'll do, I'm doing a collage of okay. So what I've done is I've created another. Okay. Hold on. Police of, let's take it as one. Okay. Fine. So what you do is like wherever, suppose if you use coalesce, what it will do, it will replace the null value with whatever value you want. So if I do coalesce of commission comma one, so it will go through all the records. Wherever it finds the commission value to be null, it is replacing it with one because I've said that commission comma one. So wherever it is null, it will replace it with one. If I want to replace it with 10, it will have to just write coalesce of commission comma 10. Okay, so wherever the value is null, it will change it to 10. Wherever it is non-null, it won't touch it. It will keep it as it is.
Okay, so what is the purpose of this function for null handling or?
Yeah, it is for null handling, first of all. The second thing is if you are doing some kind of aggregations, that time it will just create some kind of issue that null because of null values. So just to overcome all that, I'll do this. The third thing is when you're doing some kind of data testing, data validations, that time also it is necessary because you can just, if there are null values coming up, you will just replace it with some average values. Okay. So for example, if you see the commission average value is 3, 5, 22, 700. Okay. 700 is the average commission. So 3, 5, 8. Okay. So what I will replace this thing with 700. It is for data, like if there are a lot of values which are having null values, to overcome all that issue, I'm just replacing it with null. Yeah, I'm replacing it with average values. So that's where all this comes into the picture. Okay.
Yeah, fine. So how it is different from the null? Means even to the value will remain the null only. We are only just to look it better. We are doing this. So what is the difference? This was a question it was asked in an ATL interview. So that's the reason I'm asking you.
Okay. See, the thing is, if you can even test this using is null. Okay, if coalesce, if commission is null, then something. The only thing is it will the way it operates is different. So the if condition is null condition is actually a time case consuming process. Okay, that's where all this we have like developed all this coalesce and all. If you are using is null and all, it's actually a time consuming process, especially if you are having a lot of rows, a lot of records, then believe me, it will take good amount of time and memory. So to overcome all that, coalesce actually becomes like a simple thing for us. Otherwise, the purpose wise, the job wise, it's actually remain the same. They both do the same thing.
Okay, and we don't have any restriction that we can only use the numeric value. We can use the alpha values also.
No.
String
No,
also.
no. That is not possible because the thing, if you try to change this to AB, let's suppose a string value. I do this as AB. Okay. So what it does is it actually changes everything. But now this column is no more useful to you. Because earlier the purpose was you will do some kind of aggregations on this new commission column. But now you cannot do because this has become a data type as string.
String, but this is the case where we have the values listed in the column as the numeric values. But if the column contains a string, then we can use
Then it's
this.
fine. Then you can use.
Means this function can be used in both the ways,
Correct.
whether
Yes.
if it is
Yes.
numeric or it is
non-numeric. Yes.
Okay.
It will work the same. The only thing is you just have to avoid mixing string and integers because that time your whole purpose of aggregations would be defeated.
So we can summarize it saying that just to maintain the data integrity, we are using this function.
Right. To maintain the data integrity and data validations purpose, we make use of this. This major usage will come into the picture when you are actually trying some kind of data validations approach.
Okay.
Moreover, I think it may be different for you when you are doing a collace in joins also, but not necessary. I'll just keep it. I won't take that. I mean, just assume like if you're using SNL and all, it's actually a time-taking process. This
Yeah,
is
because
actually
they have
faster.
asked multiple questions and I was even not aware there is a function named as collace also. So I just wanted
Collace is you will see another function called as ZN in Tableau.
Okay.
Okay, so that also is doing the same thing. Okay, ZN. So
okay, that is specific to the Tableau.
That is specific to Tableau. Okay, there also you will see the same thing.
Okay, so one more question I have. So in the next session, what we are going to cover?
So we're going to cover 3-4 things. First of all, case statements is there, union is there, joins is there, and I think subquery also we will cover.
Nested and subqueries.
I mean subquery covers everything.
Okay, so what you require us to study before we go to that class?
Before you go into that class, you will need to first of all have all this knowledge, whatever you have done today. Okay, first of all that.
Okay.
The second thing is, see, subquery is actually like a query inside a query. Okay. From a thought process point of view, I mean, it looks complex because to query inside a query, you guys are writing query for the first time, and then I'm asking you to write a query inside another query. So you need to have some kind of structured thinking. Okay. So how and why we are writing a structured query, that is something that you need to understand. I won't say that you go and learn all the functions that we are going to use. I'm not expecting that. But at least whatever you have done till now, till today, I mean, that is something that I expect you to be clear upon. And again, I mean, please solve all like questions in SQL. I mean, SQL is not theoretical. You will need to learn things. I mean, you need to practice to learn.
Okay, which platform would you prefer for the SQL practice? SQL Zoo. I'm using SQL Zoo. Anything else you would like to recommend?
So I have lead code premium subscriptions. So the question that we will be doing in the next session and then after that, mostly all the questions will be from lead code. Okay. So I have a good set of questions that I generally give it to people.
For practicing purpose, I'm asking which platform.
Okay. If you want to write.
Yes, test and write.
Okay. SQL Zoo I've seen once. I do not remember it right now. But if there is any online compiler, please go ahead and make use of it. If not,
SQL Zoo I'm using.
I think it should be fine. It should be fine. If not, try building the tables in your Nextleap compiler and then test the queries on that.
It has a limited scope.
Okay, then SQL Zoo is something that you can use.
Okay, thank you.
Or else, why not install Postgres? I mean, that is free, right? You can use that.
Yeah, sure. We'll try that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone. I'll just start the polls and let me know if you guys have any doubts or if there are any more questions. If you have poll and you do not have any more questions, you feel free to drop off.
I have one question.
Yeah.
So if we have duplicate values, then we use group by, right? So in our previous,
The first statement is correct. Yes. The purpose of group by is not to only find the duplicates. That is one of the use case that for which you use group by. It's a very small use case actually.
okay, so if you can tell me like how was it applicable in the previous question? I actually didn't get it. Product ID.
Okay. Just give me a minute. I'm not sharing the screen. Yeah. So product ID, right? This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you need to find out a top 5 products. So product ID sum of this because you need to find out a total revenue. So total revenue is nothing but units sold and the cost in dollars. Units sold means how many? So there are 10 pencils, each pencil costing 5 unit. So 10 is this, 5 is this. So 10 into 5, 50 is something that you are doing for finding out the revenue. And that you need to find out for the, okay, I'm just removing this right now. Okay, from online orders group by product ID because product ID is the only unaggregated column in the select statement. So this is your product ID. This one you have written as here. And you run this, sorry. So what you need is the top 5, right? So top 5 means I'll do a limit 5. Group by and order by revenue. Order by revenue. That's only. Okay. So what you have is for every product ID, you have the sum of revenue. Group by product ID because product ID is the only unaggregated column and order by revenue in descending. Limit 5. The order by revenue descending means you sort everything based on the revenue column in the descending format and put a limit 5 because you need only the top 5 products.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other question, anyone?
Nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We'll meet next Saturday then.